I recently posted on Instagram, and a lot of you loved this quote actually. And I said, you deserve to be loved out loud. Do not settle for whispers. And I remember that was something the Holy Spirit was whispering to me as I was reflecting. Even at the early stage of when you're meant to be getting to know somebody, they're already bringing so much confusion, frustration, tears, pain into your life. That might be God's way of saying you might want to try and pursue something else. If you think about the Tower of Babel, God introduced confusion so that there would not be direction. I'll say that again. God introduced confusion so that there would not be direction. They were planning to build a tower to reach heaven. Sometimes you might be planning to reach somewhere with someone, and God might be saying, that will be disastrous because it will not glorify me. Because what they were doing in that season, they were not going to glorify God. They're saying they might be good, but they're not quite so good for you. And that's why I'm introducing confusion into that situation. So hopefully you, my daughter or my son, you are sensitive enough to say, okay, this might not be the direction that I'm meant to go into. Hi guys, welcome to mochunkstv and welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo, where I talk about life experiences, I give you guys some advice and put my own spin on it. So I was pondering on what to speak on in today's episode, and I always try to speak from a place of experience and things that I might be going through. And you know what, as the Spirit is leading right now, I want to talk about not settling in relation to your love life and in relationships and the things that you really want in your life. Abiola last week spoke to us about writing down and defining the things that we expect from our life. If you guys have missed that, do go check that out. It's a wow from Abiola, one of the guests that we had on the couch. She's amazing. Shout out to you, Abiola. And she was speaking about how we need to write down exactly, because we can have things and visions and but the Bible says write the vision and make it plain. So be it in the form of a mood board, be it in your notes, whatever you like to do to kind of define the things that you want to see manifest in your life. And I recently posted on Instagram, and a lot of you loved this quote actually. And I said, you deserve to be loved out loud. Do not settle for whispers. And I remember that was something the Holy Spirit was whispering to me as I was reflecting. You guys will see in my It's a Wow video that's coming soon that I was having a moment of reflection on some of the things that I wasn't so happy about. And sometimes being a single person in a world that is so relationship craved, and you kind of see relationship goals, hashtag on Twitter and Instagram, and you've seen all these couples that you kind of love and look up to. And whilst it's great to kind of celebrate what they have, which is great because you want to get there eventually, and I strongly believe that you cannot get what you hate, you only get what you celebrate in other people's lives, and that might be their season, that might not be your season. But something that I've realized in my single season, and something that most single people will vouch for, is that they find it very patronizing when somebody who might be in a relationship or in a marriage tries to advise them on singleness and how they should feel. They tell them about contentment, which is one big thing. Be content. Use your single season. But it's easy for you to say. You're going home to a pair of thighs. But take it from me, who is in the dating game, who is on the single side of things, because we're single until married. Take that how you will. Take it from me that I strongly believe, we're all in this together, sisters and brothers, I strongly believe that you should not settle for whispers. How could you when you see so many displays of people being loved out loud? And yes, we know that relationships take time to build. These people might have gone through their dry season before they now get to their rain, and they've now found a balance in their relationship. But if even at the early stage of when you're meant to be getting to know somebody, they're already bringing so much confusion, frustration, tears, pain into your life, that might be God's way of saying you might want to try and pursue something else. If you think about the Tower of Babel, God introduced confusion so that there would not be direction. I'll say that again. God introduced confusion so that there would not be direction. They were planning to build a tower to reach heaven. Sometimes you might be planning to reach somewhere with someone, and God might be saying, that will be disastrous because it will not glorify me. Because what they were doing in that season, they were not going to glorify God. And God might be saying to you that this thing that you're trying to get into, this dating relationship, this marriage, although it seems logically good to try and be closer to God, as in the Tower of Babel. In your case, it seems logically good to get with this man of God, to get with someone who's walking in their purpose and everything is going great. It seems logical. Like, what else? What else would you need? But God is saying they might be good, but they're not quite so good for you. And that's why I'm introducing confusion into that situation. So hopefully you, my daughter or my son, you are sensitive enough to say, okay, this might not be the direction that I'm meant to go into. I'm just going to repeat that one more time. The presence of confusion when it comes to dating, love, relationships, in fact, everything. But we're talking about relationships right now. The presence of confusion is probably the absence of direction. And that might be God's way of just trying to just poke you to pay attention. And that is something that, many women, go through, many men go through. I can only speak from the perspective of a woman, but I know relationships are very complicated. And the layers, of course, there isn't one rule or one size fits all. But I do just want to briefly and quickly advise you guys to not settle for the whispers when there are so many people that would love you out loud. And I was literally speaking to my friend today. Man like Mike, shout out to you. I was speaking to him and I was saying how, Mike, what was I saying to you? Mike! When they know, yeah. It's a no. Yeah. Okay. Let's just bring it back to practical sense. So we've spoken about the spiritual layers that come with this. Or spiritual, like biblical reference to the reference point for this that gives you a better illustration. Let's now go to the practical side of things. We all saw what happened on Love Island. Yewande and Danny. And Danny was seemingly very confused about what he wanted with Yewande. He just couldn't spell it out because there was another housemate, Arabella, who we now know he had his eyes on. And myself and Mike concluded that the thing about guys is no matter how shy, no matter how quiet they are, no matter what personality they come with, when they know, they know. They might not know immediately, but even then they wouldn't approach you in that sense. A guy that is serious about you, a woman that is serious about you comes with clarity. They understand the importance of moving with seasons. And if those feelings are there, it's almost like filling up a cup or filling up a bottle with water. And when it gets to the brim, it's just ready to spill out. But confusion is like half empty, half full. Nothing can flow from that. So you actually want somebody, both male and female, that their love for you is so full that it just spills out and it's clear what direction it's going in. I love the display of love that I see on social media from our favorite influencers, so like Team Swordwell, we see Carl and Cassie Loco, just seeing nice displays of this is what love should look like. Even though some of us might not have experienced it or seen it from our upbringing, at least we're seeing a new generation of Christian influencers even showing you that God's love is possible and clear love is possible. It doesn't have to be confusion. It can be intentional, solidified, Christ-like love that makes you feel safe, that feels like home, and that has God's love just written all over it. So my sisters and my brothers, it's going to wrap up with that. Don't settle for whispers when you can be loved out loud. And that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure if you liked it, do comment down below on the things I spoke about. I hope this spoke to one of you. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. So take it. Subscribe to this channel for more. Until next time, guys, peace and love. Peace and chunks.